Hello everyone, this is Vaishali Sarde, Assistant Professor in Computer Application, Government JY Chhattisgarh College, Raipur. I am presenting the topic pointer to structure and accessing dynamic array of a structure through pointer. This topic has been taken from the paper Programming in C Language of BCA Part 1, in which Unit 4 Pointers covers these topics. So let's start with pointer to structure. As we know that pointer can hold the address of any other variable. Similarly, pointer to structure can hold the address of any structure variable. We can understand this definition through an example here. In this example, before creating pointer to structure, we first have to create a structure. So we have created one structure with the name student. So struct student will create one structure in which we have provided two fields, roll number and marks, both are of type integer. So student is a structure or data type where roll number and marks are two fields inside this data type student. So we have created one variable for a structure student. This variable has named as s, and we have given two values 2 and 40. 2 is for roll number and 40 is for marks. Now our task is to create one pointer which can point to the variable s. So to create a pointer which can point to variable s, we have to create a pointer of type student. So we just write keyword struct, then student, because a student is actually a structure type. So struct student, then we write star ptr. So now ptr is a pointer because we have written a star before ptr. So ptr is a pointer which is of type student. Now ptr can hold the address of any variable which is of type student. So we have written ampersand, we have assigned the address of s to the pointer ptr. For that we have written ampersand s here. So ptr equals to ampersand s, that means ptr is holding the address of structure variable s here. So ptr now can point to a structure variable s. We can understand this through the diagram which has been given here. So s is a variable which is of type student, structure student, which is having two fields, roll number and marks. Through the assignment statement struct student s equals to 2, 40, we have given the value 2 and 40 to the roll number and marks respectively. Suppose these two fields are having the addresses 2016 and 2018 because these both are integer type. So if 2016 is the starting address of roll number, so obviously the starting address of marks will be 2018. We have created one pointer variable which is of type student, and we have assigned the address of s to ptr. So starting address of s is 2016, so value of ptr will be 2016. As we assigned the address of s to ptr, now ptr is able to point to a structure variable s. Now how to access this structure variable using ptr? To access the structure variable s using ptr, we have to write ptr, then the arrow symbol, then the name of fields as written in the printf statement. So to make arrow using keyboard, we just have to write dash and the greater than sign. This will make arrow using the keyboard. So in the printf statement, we have written ptr, then the arrow sign, then roll number. This will provide you the first field of the structure variable s. Then we have written ptr, then arrow symbol, then marks. This will provide the second field of the structure variable s. So in this way we can access both the fields of a structure variable s. Using printf statement, we have printed the value of roll number and marks. So output will be roll number equals to 2 and marks equals to 40. Now there is another way through which we can access the structure by using pointer. So the program is same, only there is change in the printf statement. We have written to access the individual fields of a structure variable s, we have written star ptr dot roll number. So star ptr dot roll number, using this this statement, we can access the roll number of structure variable as. Here star ptr is same as we are using the normal pointer. In case of normal pointer, we use star then the name of pointer variable to access the variable's value whose address pointer is holding. So just write star ptr, then to access the individual field of the structure, write dot then the name of field. So star ptr dot roll number will provide you the first field of the structure variable as, because ptr is pointing to as, and star ptr dot roll number will provide you the first field of the structure variable as. Star ptr is as usual as we were using in the normal pointer variable. So just write a star then the name of pointer variable, then dot then the name of field that you want to access. So this is the another way through which we can access the structure variable using pointer. So output is same, roll number equals to 2 and marks equals to 40. Whole program is same, just printf statement is changed here. So these are the two ways through which we can access the structure using pointers. Now accessing dynamic array of structure through pointer. Here we want to access array of structure using pointer, and again we are creating the array of structure dynamically here. So we are trying to create first of all array of structures, then we are using pointer to access this array of structure, and array of structure is also created dynamically here. For that purpose malloc function is used. So to understand this topic, one small program has been given here. So in this program we have again created one structure with the name student and having the fields roll number and marks. So we created one pointer variable which is of type student star ptr, and there is one more pointer variable p. Later on I will inform you why we have created two pointers here. There is one more variable n which is of type integer and having the value 2. N will provide you the number of elements in the array that we want to create. We have assigned the constant 2, that means we will create array of structure, and array will have 2 elements here. So 2 structure type of values can be stored inside the array. So just to create array of structures we have used malloc function. Inside the malloc function we have given n into size of struct student. Size of struct student will provide you the value 4 here, because a student structure is having 2 fields and both the fields are of integer type. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So the size of structure student will be 4, because we have written n into size of struct student and n is having value 2, that means 2 into 4, that is 8 bytes. So total 8 bytes will be reserved here. So first 4 bytes will be for his first structure variable and next 4 bytes will be for the next structure variable. So the total 8 bytes will be reserved, and this will be divided into 2 parts. First 4 bytes is for first array element and second 4 bytes for the second array element, and each array element will be of type structure student. Now this malloc function will reserve 8 bytes and it will return void pointer. So void pointer will be a nameless pointer which will point to the first byte of the reserved space. We have converted void pointer to the student type of pointer. For that purpose we have written a struct student star. This will convert the void pointer to the student type of pointer, because we want to access this reserved space using the ptr, which is actually student type of pointer. So we have converted void pointer to the student type of pointer, and this pointer has been assigned, this nameless pointer has been assigned to the ptr. ptr is a student type of pointer. Now ptr is able to point to this reserved memory space which has been reserved using malloc function. So these 8 bytes can now be accessed using ptr. So this 8 bytes will be treated as array of 2 elements, and each element will be of type struct. That means inside one element we can store 2 fields roll number and marks. This can be understood through the diagram which has been given here. So first 4 bytes will have 2 fields roll number and marks, and next 4 bytes will again have 2 fields roll number and marks. Suppose the starting address of roll number is 4030, so the marks, the starting address of marks for the first array element will be 4032. For the next 4 bytes, the starting address will be 4034, and for the, this is for the roll number roll number field of second array element, and for the marks the starting address will be 4036. Because this is array of structures, all the elements will be stored sequentially, so all the elements are having the difference of 2 bytes here. We have written p equals to ptr here, so we are going to save the value of ptr in the variable p. This p will be used later on in this program, so just save the value of ptr in the variable p. Now we will use ptr to traverse through the array of structure. For that purpose we have used a for loop here, which has been executed from 0 to 1 for the value of I 0 to 1. So in this loop we are going to assign the values to the different fields of the structure student. So in the first loop, this will provide the value to the first element of the array, in which we have written a scanf statement and ampersand ptr roll number and ampersand ptr marks. As we know that in the scanf statement, before each variable we have to write ampersand sign, and the name of variable is here ptr, then the arrow marks, then roll number, as I have explained in the previous slide. To access the individual element using ptr, we have to write the name of pointer variable first, then arrow, then the name of field. This will provide you the first element of the array, which is the roll number, and ampersand ptr marks will provide you the marks field of the first element of the array. So using a scanf statement, we can assign the values to these two fields of the first array element, and we have given 4 and 87 here. When we raise ptr by 1, that means we have written ptr plus plus, this will raise the value of ptr by 4, because the one array element will take the 4 bytes, as the size of a student is 4 bytes. So whenever we will raise the pointer by 1, or we will increment the pointer by 1, this will increase the value of ptr by 4, as the size of individual array element is 4 bytes, so it will increase the value of ptr by 4. So definitely ptr, pointer ptr, the value of ptr will be 4034 now, so it will point to the second array element. So the field roll number of second array element will be pointed by ptr. So when we will execute for this loop for value of I equals to 1, and we have written ptr roll number, so this will provide you the roll number of the second array element, and ptr marks will provide you the marks of second array element. So we have assigned the values 5 and 89 here. After the completion of this loop, all the fields of arrays, will get the values, and we have written after that ptr equals to p. Now we want to traverse this array using ptr. So now the value of ptr is actually 4038, because we have written ptr plus plus at the last of loop. So after storing values in the roll number and marks field of second array element, and using ptr plus plus inside the loop, this will provide you the value for ptr as 4038. And when we will come out from the loop, the value of ptr will be 4038. Now we want to access this arrays elements using ptr. For that purpose we have to initialize the ptr again, that means we have to set the value of ptr at the starting address of the array. So for that purpose we have written ptr equals to p. तो ये p की जो वैल्यू है वो 4030 है, क्योंकि हमने शुरू में ही p की वैल्यू को, p में ptr की वैल्यू को सेव कर लिया था। तो ptr की इनिशियल वैल्यू 4030 थी, जिसको हमने p में सेव कर लिया था। तो नाउ द वैल्यू ऑफ ptr विल बी 4030 बिकॉज वी हैव रिटन ptr इक्वल्स टू p। अब ptr फिर से एरे के स्टार्टिंग एड्रेस को पॉइंट कर रहा है। अब पूरे एरे को हम ptr के थ्रू ट्रैवर्स कर सकते हैं। अगर हम ये असाइनमेंट स्टेटमेंट नहीं लिखते तो ptr की वैल्यू होती 4038 और फिर हम ptr के थ्रू इस एरे को एक्सेस नहीं कर पाते, इसलिए हमने लिखा है ptr इक्वल्स टू p। नाउ वी कैन ट्रैवर्स थ्रू द होल एरे यूजिंग ptr. So for that purpose we have written for loop which has been executed for the value of I from 0 to 1. So in the printf statement, ptr roll number will provide you the roll number field of first array element, and ptr marks will provide you the marks field of first array element. So it will print 4 and 87 here. So ptr arrow roll number is a way through which we can access a particular field using pointer to structure. Similarly, ptr arrow marks, as I have explained in the previous slide, we can get the individual field of a structure using pointer by writing the arrow symbol. So ptr arrow marks will provide you the marks field of the first array element. After that we have written ptr plus plus. So obviously this will raise again the pointer variable value of pointer variable by 4 bytes. So now the value of ptr will be 4034. इसके थ्रू आप सेकेंड एरे एलिमेंट को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। जब आप लूप में वापस जाएंगे और ptr रोल नंबर, ptr एरो रोल नंबर और ptr एरो मार्क्स के थ्रू वैल्यूज़ को प्रिंट कराएंगे तो हमको सेकेंड एरे एलिमेंट का रोल नंबर और मार्क्स मिलेगा. दैट मीन्स वी विल गेट 5 and 89 हियर. So in this way we can traverse through the array. After that, writing 5 and 89 on the screen, the value of ptr because of ptr plus plus, value of ptr will be 4038. So for the value of I equals to 0 and 1, this loop will be executed, and the values for roll number and marks for both the array elements will be printed on the screen. So this is a way through which we can access the array of a structure using pointer. And here we have created array of a structure dynamically. That means when the program will be executed, this array of a structure will be created. It will not be created at the time of compilation. And dynamic creation of variable have been explained in my video lecture of dynamic memory allocation. You can watch that video. Thank you very much.